Hi friends, I got a question for you. How do you place your parts on the material? I mean, not on a new sheet or your new slab of material, but how do you place it on a remnant sheet or when it gets a little bit more complex? Do you have a solution for that? Let's say you have something like this laying on your machine and you want to place something here, a part. I mean, this feels like a good location. Do you go with like the nozzle going over here, placing it right here, but this thing is a little bit rotated, so do you take that in accountability to put it like this perhaps? Or yeah, how do you do that? Is there a solution for that? Where am I going with this? Let me show you something. This thing right here is called a GigE camera, and it's like a standard protocol camera for the industry. And this will take a scaled and calibrated image of our material and import that into CAD/CAM, scaled 1:1 and just perfect. So you can place the parts on the drawing in the CAD/CAM and then cut them right on the machine, right on this crooked, cut out piece of metal. Let's dive in. For those of you who watched the previous video, you know that under Tools, you had the slab tracer, and right next to it is the snapshot. So let's just go ahead, click snapshot, and that will connect to our camera. It's very important that you enter the correct thickness of the material that you put. So that crooked piece of metal that I put was 10 millimeters. Confirm with enter. And then I can place this in the 0 point, which is very important, on the drawing. I confirm that with enter. So here is, this is my clamp, looks a little bit funny, but let's see how well this is. Let's see the correct distance from here to about here is 327. What's that like on here? Let's just see. 326. That's good enough. 1 millimeter approximately. I might have been off a little bit here, but you see there's quite a high accuracy in this, and that obviously depends on the camera that you're using and where you put it, but this feels good right now. Let's put a part on here. Actually, let's put a 3D part on here. That's a little bit more fun. The material, aluminum. Okay. Head over here. Open samples. What should we do? There's also one more feature. I don't know if I've told you this, but there's a tutorial for every video. So does it work? Yeah, here I am looking at myself. 3D polar array. Nice. Okay, anyway, let's do this. Toolpath, auto. Okay, so this is a popular part in the water cutting industry. Not that complex, to be honest. Right here, you click cam. We have our auto toolpath, which works on flat piece of material. You see, this is a flat material. So auto, both internal and external. This sounds good. Okay, and with one click or 2 clicks, you have a toolpath with rapids. Perfect. Great. That sends this 3D model into our 2D environment. Click on it to select it. Hit M shortcut for move, and I can just pick anywhere. And I can place it. If it doesn't move this freely, it's probably because you have ortho on, which would do this. I'm just gonna remove that, short key F8, and just put it there. Sounds good. So the thing is here, we know that I'm calibrating the camera on the machine in the 0 point of the machine, which is right here. And I'm placing the image in the 0 point of our drawing. So we can reference this. This point is exactly 0, 0 on the drawing and on the machine. And since this is scaled, you saw me measuring here, this is perfectly scaled, this image, to the reality, 1 to 1. So therefore I know the distance. I know that this represents like an ortho view of my cutting envelope. So the distance from here to here, I know that. So I can just, basically I can hit process. Hold on, I'm going to show you one more thing because we do this a little bit special in our machine. I'm selecting the cut order to get our 0 point. Hit enter. Now our 0 point is default on the bottom left corner. You want that to be 0 and 0, so that's 0 point on the drawing. And you can of course change that. You can go to process, strategy. It's in the settings, so you have default 0 corner. As I said, we have lower left, which is right here, but you can also do origo. Let's hit process, and yeah, let's name it top secret. That sounds good. Save. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Okay. So that's it. Let's find out if this thing cuts on the machine. So I've just opened up our IGEMS CNC. I'm gonna turn on the motor power, hit prepare, and I should probably go to manual first and jog our machine. Like that. Prepare, camera, add. So we have a camera on our CNC as well. It's a separate product, but it's really good. So open, top secret. That means I can verify, guys. I can verify where I put it. So we see that the 0 point is right here. This is our 3D part. Let's see how that matches with this image right here. Pretty good, I would say. So let's just cut this, right? Let's just click start again, and yeah, we get a warning if we reach our limit on our mixing tube, but let's just cut this. Don't say anything to anyone. Okay. All right. Next thing we're gonna see bevel. And a cool feature on the CNC is that you can see actually where you're moving. So if I zoom in here, you see that we see the segment that we're on, and we see like the estimated time left right there. It's very visually pleasing, the system. So is this. Here's an interesting thing with not running the machine too often. I forgot to turn on the abrasive, but we actually have a really good feature for this. Let me show you. Oh yeah, so right about, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I think we have to go like in here somewhere. We start all the way in this corner probably. But okay, so there's a really nice feature for this. This is our part, and the red lines represents our toolpath, right? So we're standing right here. You can just click anywhere like there, and that will snap this thing onto the contour. We'll do it on rapids and contours. So I can just click there and say start, okay, from marker, okay, and that will move the machine to the correct position, to that position that we marked on this, right there, and tilt a little bit, machine in position, continue. Oh yeah. Yeah, here we go. We're cutting again. That's nice. Once this is cut all the way through, I get some things here. I can just say go to parking, execute, and that will bring the machine a little bit backwards, and hopefully I can remove this. No, I can't. Can I? Okay, so it was a little bit stuck. There's the abrasive failure we had before, but that's what you get for not being a 100% good user. But this is okay, right? We had like a super short programming, 3D part, nice. But what's even more nice is this thing right here. It lines up perfectly. And it's all from this guy right up here, the GigE camera. So specifically has to be a GigE camera. You can just Google any GigE camera will work that we know of. So what you want to do is just place it somewhere around the machine. So we placed it at approximately 45-degree angle. And that's the maximum angle you want. It's going to be better the more vertical the camera is positioned. But I mean, this is a waterjet machine. You have these things flying over here, and like it's sometimes difficult to place cameras on machines. So that was a good location for us, and 1 millimeter tolerance is well in our tolerance. But let me show you how to calibrate this, because that's another story. So what you want to do in terms of calibration tools, this is what we found out to be the best way. And that's just to put like the area that you want to cut. And we created this, we made these holes like crosshairs, and it's 250 millimeters this way and 20 millimeters that way. It could be any distance. The important part is that you know the distance between these points, the calibration points, and you know how many points they are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the X direction. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Y direction. This is our 0, always. Always match the 0 point of the machine. Well, with the drawing, but yeah. So I'm just gonna put it in here, and we're gonna go back into the CAD cam now to see what this looks like in our calibration tool. All right, let's head into tools, and if you click on vision, just under snapshot here, you have a camera manager. This brings up the camera UI, and our camera is called the Blue Cougar, which I find very amusing. If you don't see your camera here, remember it has to be a GigE camera. Then you have to go through the camera software, the software that ships with the camera, and install the camera. from there. But if you want to try this out, you can use our dummy camera, which will bring in, I'll just take a raw snapshot here, hit enter. That will just bring in a dummy image, and you can do all of the things I'm doing right now with that camera, or with that image, sorry. So camera manager, select the camera. I see that this camera is calibrated right now, but I want to import a raw snapshot just to verify that calibration. So this is the raw image, just doesn't do anything, doesn't scale it or anything. So what I'm going to do is edit this calibration. And I will see that, okay, maybe I can edit this a little bit. It's a little bit off here, a little bit off here. And I can go around here and fix all of these points. But this is what makes this camera useful when you import an image into the CAD cam, because every camera has got some distortion from the angle. It's like, it doesn't give a realistic view of, or an ortho view of the reality. I don't know if that makes sense, but just gonna say done there. If you had a camera installed and you want to do a new calibration, so you can click new calibration. First insert a raw snapshot and then a new calibration. And these are the grid points that I was talking about. So we have 10 in X and 6 in Y. And the distance between them are 200 and 250. The calibration plate thickness is this plate's thickness, which is 3 millimeters. So I could go pick points. First point, look down to the left always. Specify X min, Y min. So X minimum, Y minimum is our 0 point. So I click here somewhere where I think is a good position. Then I click X max, Y min, which is this. X max, Y max. Here. And then X min, Y max here. That will bring out a rough calibration. So you're not finished here. You see these crosses or X's or whatever they are. You can bring all of these points to that position, or not all of these points, but the corresponding points to the corresponding mark. You can also hold Control on your keyboard and click. That will take the nearest point and put them in where you're clicking, so you can go like this. But you want to be thorough. You want to be picky when you pick, so that the calibration is good, right? So when you've done that, sorry, I just closed this down. When you've done that, you can click Save, and so the save was just like this, done, right here. Then you have a calibrated camera, which is pretty cool. You might also want to use the stream function. If I click here, I can change the gain. That means it's going to be brighter if we do this. The exposure time we can also change if we want to. But you see here that you see me? Yeah, you see me. So this function, this stream function, is really good because if you have, like we do, a manual focus lens, you can change the focus on the lens while seeing this. So you don't have to take a picture, go back, change the focus, take a picture again. You can just do that on the fly. And if you have a friend helping you, that's a lot easier. So yeah, that's it about the camera stream and also the camera UI. We have had some issues, known issues about like the bandwidth or the network speed from these cameras. So what we've done is inserted this camera right into our computer that runs the CNC. So that like a network cable, just plug it in. That will give you the best result, but you could also run it through like your network. Just make sure that you know the limitations of your hardware before you do anything. Otherwise, you might end up with some kind of a bad image. I think that's it, guys. It's our new feature called Snapshot. It's a camera that takes a really cool calibrated image of your material that is on the machine already, and you can place parts on it right from the CAD cam. This is available right now, and it's also included in all our subscription licenses. So if you have a subscription-based CAD cam license from us, go ahead. It's all there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Catch you in the next one.